Hello, and welcome to SixSigmaTV.net. I'm Jeff, a Lean Six Sigma Certified Master Black Belt. A Lean Six Sigma program's goals within any business or service are to improve quality, eliminate waste, reduce lead time, and minimize total operating cost. This video will walk you through the cost of poor quality, also known as COPQ, which measures the dollar impact of operational waste as well as errors and defects discovered inside and outside of your company. I'll walk you through how to use our patented COPQ calculator available on our website, SixSigmaTV.net. If you are already familiar with COPQ and the 8 types of waste, feel free to skip ahead to the time shown on the screen and jump right into inputting your information into the calculator. The key benefit to your organization, business, and customers is to uncover COPQ issues within your operating processes and procedures. Then you will know where to strategically align resources to conduct Lean Six Sigma, Kaizen events, and improvements to permanently eliminate root causes and sustained operational enhancements. There are 5 different cost of poor quality types impacting operational efficiencies within every company. They include prevention, appraisal, internal failure, external failure, and the 8 types of waste. These are uncovered and identified during a Gemba walk, which is when we walk the process and gather operating metrics. You can then establish the dollar impact to your organization and bottom line when you use our cost of poor quality calculator. The first COPQ type is prevention. These are costs to prevent errors like creating standard operating procedures, training and certifications, and in-process controls that mistake-proof the process. Prior to processing, prevention costs are about 5 to 10% of your overall cost of poor quality. The next one is appraisal cost, which are the cost of detecting errors through in-process inspections. Appraisal costs occur during the monitoring and the outputs of a process. These usually contribute to about 20 to 25% of overall cost of poor quality. As you can see, your cost of poor quality increases tenfold as you move further through your processes and procedures. Internal failures are costs that are errors made that are never visible to the customer, including rework, paperwork errors, system crashes, delays, and inaccurate information. Internal failure costs are usually caught at the last output of your process by final inspection. These costs account for about 20 to 25% of your overall cost of poor quality. External failures include the cost of errors and recovery from errors that reach the customer. These are the worst type of failures and they cost the most to fix. External failures cost our warranty, returns, field failures, and the revenue spent on obtaining new customers. These occur after delivery and account for about 40 to 45% of all your cost of poor quality issues. Lastly, we have the 8 types of waste. We will get to those when we go over the COPQ template. Every organization is different. Our calculator is designed with high-level categories that you can personalize to guide you through the ways to discover your specific cost of poor quality. Here is where you will input each cost associated with each subcategory. Keep in mind these are placeholders and you will have the ability to change them as needed. For example, under prevention, if you don't have a purchasing issue, you might change this to mistake proofing or 5S efforts. Let's walk through some examples. Remember to include all end-to-end labor, materials, rework, and all touch points of the operation. Here's an example of the cost of poor quality calculation in manufacturing. If you have 8 production workers that are $25 per hour of labor cost, you want to times that by 1 hour per day of reworking, which equals $200 per day. You'll want to times that by 260 production days per year, which is going to be a cost of poor quality of $52,000. Your new material cost of $400 times 260 production days per year is going to cost you $104,000. The retesting and inspection cost at $50 per day times 260 production days is going to equal $13,000. Your reshipping and delivery costs per year are also going to equal $6,000, which your annual cost and your lost revenue of cost of poor quality and the fiscal impact of reworking those defective parts is going to equal $175,000. Here's another example of cost of poor quality within a hospital LDRP billing code error scenario. If you have 4 nurses at $50 per hour labor cost, times 30 minutes of reviewing the patient's charts and reworking, it's going to cost you about $200 each day. If you have 8 wrong billing codes per day, which is lost revenue of $625 each, you're going to have $5,000 of lost revenue each day. You want to multiply that again by your 365 days. Your $5,200 per day times 365 is going to equal $1,898,000 of lost revenue. Here's an example of the cost of poor quality within a construction industry. This scenario, we have late construction industry change notices. If you have 16 construction workers that cost you $45 per hour in labor, that's going to equal $720. If each construction worker spends 20 hours reworking mislocated foundation pillars that were offset by 6 feet or so, that's going to be $14,400. We have $180,000 of the steel pillars being reworked and replaced, which is going to cost you $194,000. The total cost of poor quality and the fiscal impact of this one late change notice could equal $208,400. And lastly, this example of cost of poor quality within the commercial food processing industry. If you are experiencing each of your packages being overweight by just 10 grams, it's an average cost of 15 cents per package, and you're producing 2,700 packages per hour, that's $405 of overprocessing and lost revenue. You multiply that by 24 hours, and each day that's going to cost you $9,720. You multiply that by 300 days of operations, and you're going to end up with a fiscal impact of your cost of poor quality of $2,916,000. Now, cost of poor quality is a vital calculation that any company can benefit from. In just a few minutes, I will walk you through our patented COPQ calculator, the benefits of using it, and all the great functions and features we have added to identify areas where your organization will uncover hidden costs impacting your bottom line and operating margins. So let's get started. Okay, so you come to sixsigmatv.net, our web page. Scroll down to the bottom here where it says Cost of Poor Quality Calculator. Click on that button and it'll bring you to our Cost of Poor Quality Calculator. And let's get started. The first page is going to show you the prevention. Next tab is going to be the appraisal, internal failures, external failures, and then the other 8 types of waste. So what you can do here is let's look at an example. As you're going through the prevention phase, the cost to prevent errors prior to processing or in-process controls, SPC, mistake proofing, any of those kind of things. So we'll say production. You know your production rate during your inspection is costing you, $5,566. Your quality costs are costing you, $3,400. In this other category here, you can change any one of these subcategories to anything that meets your requirements. You simply just click on the pencil, go over here to other, do some backspace, and you can type in whatever you want. You could put in, customer, if I could type, customer support, and then you unclick the pencil, you can go in there and click on it, and now you know your customer support costs for your inspection. You can go on down into your training if you have any kind of design requirements, whatever you want to do and change these for. I'm just going to fill this in so you can see kind of the readout. This last tab will walk you through the 8 wastes, which includes excessive motion, waiting time, overproduction, unnecessary processing time, defects, excessive resources, unnecessary ineffective handoffs, and underutilization of intellect and skills. You can change these again to any kind of category you want. I'm just filling this in so you get an idea of how our readout is going to help you. You can also collapse some of these fields if you don't have them. You can open them back up, underutilized skills, whatever. Production. The cool thing about this calculator is it's going to break everything down into subcategories for you, so you're going to know exactly where in your process to focus your resources on to start working on your Lean Six Sigma projects. You click on that, your other 8 types of waste. You now hit the submit button and watch for the results. Awesome, look at that. So now you've got your cost of poor quality, $1.7 million. It tells you exactly what percentage your others are. It tells you in here what your preventions are is 5%, your appraisal is 10%, your internal failures is 32%, and your external failures is 8%. This Pareto chart over here will give you exact numbers. The blue bar is what's actually costing you right now. So in your prevention phase of your cost of poor quality, you're spending about $82,000, almost $83,000. When you start working on your projects, you should be looking for a 40% reduction in those prevention costs, which means we have almost $50,000 worth of opportunity to hit your financial bottom line results there. Your appraisal, the same thing. We can see we have 186. Optimal conditions would be getting that down to 112,000, and on down the line. And then you see you have your 8 waste. Usually that's where most of your things are going to be, is your 8 types of waste here. Currently you're at 800,000, and working on lean projects will get that down to just under 500,000. As you scroll down, you see in each one of the cost of poor quality sections, we've broken it down even further. Under your prevention, and again, you could change these categories to anything you want. So I was just doing your example and showing you leaving it at the defaults. We had our training, inspection, prior to processing, and procurement. Again, it'll tell you what each one of these bars are, what the value is, so you know how much it's impacting your organization. You go down here to your external failures, internal failures, whatever it is, and then the 8 types of waste. Depending on which ones you have, you'll get a nice big Pareto chart of all of them, or just for the ones that you've put in there. So again, this helps you identify where in your process you should be focusing your resources on to start working projects. And again, you'll have your overall number up here at the top. And when you get down into implementing improvements, you should be saving, X amount of dollars as your projects. So this is continuous improvement. First wave through is usually going to be your lower hanging fruit, and then off you go. When you're done, go down to the bottom here, fill in the information, hit the submit button, and we'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible to help you with your Six Sigma needs. Thanks for watching our video. Enjoy the many benefits and helpful features that come with the COPQ calculator. Feel free to contact us for any of your Lean Six Sigma training and consulting needs.